This question has probably crossed the mind of every kid who ever stared at a volcano and thought, wow, what if the whole world looked like that? But what would actually happen if every drop of water in Earth's oceans suddenly transformed into molten lava? Let's dive, well, not literally, into this fiery nightmare. At the start of our scenario, the transformation is instant. In the blink of an eye, 1.3 billion cubic kilometers of water vanish, replaced by searing hot molten rock. The average temperature of oceanic lava would be around 1,200 degrees Celsius, which is hotter than the surface of Venus. To put it simply, you would not want to dip your toes in. The immediate effect, steam. Lots of it. As trillions of tons of water molecules suddenly vaporize, the atmosphere becomes a choking, boiling cloud. Visibility plummets to zero, and the greenhouse effect skyrockets. Forget about global warming. This is instant planetary broiling. Within minutes, much of the Earth's surface is scalded under a suffocating blanket of superheated steam. Humans? Gone. Animals? Gone. Plants? Gone. The only life forms that might survive are heat-loving bacteria buried miles underground, smugly ignoring our fiery apocalypse. Now, let's talk geography. Oceans make up about 70% of Earth's surface. Without them, coastlines vanish. Countries like Japan, the United Kingdom, and basically every island on Earth cease to exist, swallowed up by a never-ending sea of lava. Imagine looking at a globe. Instead of brilliant blue oceans, you'd see a glowing orange-red hellscape. The Earth would look like a giant, angry ember floating in space. NASA would be impressed if there was still a NASA. You might be wondering, would the lava stay in place? Not for long. The Earth's tectonic system depends heavily on the weight and distribution of ocean water. Suddenly replacing it with a superheated, denser liquid would cause unimaginable geological chaos. Earthquakes would rip across every continent. Volcanoes would erupt in sympathy, spewing even more lava, because apparently having oceans of molten rock wasn't dramatic enough. And let's not forget about the air. The sudden removal of liquid oceans means no water cycle, no evaporation, no rainfall, no rivers, no clouds, except the initial deadly steam. Within days, the atmosphere would be stripped of moisture, becoming dry, toxic, and unstable. Any surviving animals would be doomed by asphyxiation and thirst, assuming they hadn't already been roasted alive. But what about the ocean's role in regulating temperature? Normally, the seas act like Earth's giant thermostat, storing heat and distributing it around the globe. With lava instead of water, that stabilizing system is destroyed. Temperatures skyrocket during the day and plummet at night. Earth would become a planet of extremes, with unbearable heat waves followed by freezing nights. Essentially, we'd be living on a rock that swings between being an oven and a freezer. You might think, well, maybe humans could adapt. We're smart, right? Let's be honest. No bunker, no air conditioner, and no sunscreen is going to help you survive oceans of molten rock. Even if you built floating platforms or lava-resistant ships, where would you go? Food production would collapse instantly. The oceans feed billions of people through fish and provide rainwater to grow crops. Without them, civilization collapses in a matter of weeks. Ironically, though, Earth itself would survive just fine. Our planet has seen worse. Billions of years ago, during its early formation, much of Earth's surface was molten. In a sense, this scenario would just be hitting the reset button, rewinding Earth back to its fiery youth. The planet spins on, orbit unchanged, while life gets completely reset. But let's zoom out even further. To an alien observer, Earth would suddenly transform from a lush, blue marble into a blazing, hostile furnace. A world that once thrived with oceans, forests, and civilizations would be reduced to a molten wasteland. It might even look beautiful from space. But beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and in this case, the beholder wouldn't be human. So, what if the oceans turned into lava? Humanity would be erased almost instantly, ecosystems obliterated, and the planet would become unrecognizable. Earth would carry on spinning, glowing like a cosmic ember in the darkness of space. And maybe, just maybe, billions of years later, life could crawl back again, Hopefully this time without anyone asking what would happen if we swapped water for lava.